sunshine. I am so excited to sit down and do a makeup video with you guys. It has been so long since I've done one of these. I didn't think anybody was interested, and so I stopped doing them. But now that you guys are like, oh my gosh, please do more, I'm like, heck yeah, girls, let's sit down and talk about makeup. I'm so excited to sit here and bond with you guys. So basically, I do have to say, well, I do want to say that I've received 2 products for free in exchange for a review from Influenster. You guys have heard about them, and if you have not, go check out my other video where I talked about how you, even if you aren't a beauty influencer, even if you don't have a large social media following, can receive free products from influenster.com in exchange for your review. Like, it's so great. You get free stuff in the mail and then you just have to give your own personal opinion. It's amazing. And so I did receive 2 products and I haven't yet played around with them, and so I wanted to sit down and talk to you guys and share my personal experience. This isn't part of the campaign. I'm just doing this because I mean, it's new makeup on the market and I'm really excited to sit here and review because I love foundation. That is my favorite makeup product, is a good foundation. A good foundation will change your life. So the 2 products that I received are from Cover FX. And this is the Cover FX Power Play Foundation. Well, this is the packaging for the foundation. Dad jokes. And this is a Cover FX. Oh, I have fuzzy carpet on me. Oh, excuse the mess. This is the Cover FX Perfect Setting Powder. I have fuzzy carpet and I just shook it out, and now there's like, I was trying to clean my room and now there's fuzzies everywhere. I got fuzzies on my hands. So yeah, I have not tested out either of these products. I did try to get them open because I just really struggle getting these types of packages open. So the first thing that we're going to obviously test out is the foundation. Now, before we get into this review, I'm just going to bring you guys up close and personal so you can see all of the flaws with my skin. As you can see, I have very red skin. I have acne, I have dark marks, I have hyperpigmentation, I have scars, and I have large pores. So when I go shopping for a foundation, I look for something full coverage. I have oily skin, so I don't really buy dewy foundations. I like to stay away from them. I like more matte formulas. But if it's kind of like a mix, like if it's kind of a mix, it's not really matte and it's not really dewy, I don't mind those, but I like to stay more matte. I need full coverage though. I will not budge on that. If it's not full coverage, I don't buy it. If it's not full coverage, I don't play with that. I want something that's gonna give me a clean, smooth, red-free base to apply my skills onto. So as you can see, this is where we're at with my skin. Excuse my infected nose piercing. It's getting better. It was really infected, but as you can see, I have, yeah, this is my skin. Love it. I don't have a problem with it, but when I want to beat my face, I want full coverage. I do have a problem with pores as well, but because this is how I believe reviews should be done, I'm not going to put a primer down. I always put primer down when I apply my foundation. But because I'm looking to like allow this foundation's true colors to show, I'm not going to give it anything to go off of. I want to see how well this works with my skin, especially if I'm just looking to apply something in a rush. I'm not going to take time to apply primer and foundation. I'm just going to slap some foundation on and go. I want to see the magic that this foundation will work on my skin without the help of a friend, aka primer. So having pulled this foundation out, I have to admit I'm a bit surprised. I will give you a second to listen. I don't know if you can hear, but this is plastic. Both of these are plastic. Cover FX is a luxury brand. You can buy them in Sephora. And I'm honestly surprised that this isn't glass and this isn't metal. With high-end foundations, they usually use high-end packaging. The bottles are usually glass and the metals, the tops are usually some sort of metal. So seeing that both of these feel very lightweight because both of these are plastic makes me wonder how much this foundation is. I haven't looked that up yet. I bet you it's probably gonna be like $46. That's where I'm putting my bets. I will put the number up right here in a pop-up. But besides that, I also do think that this foundation is gonna be a little light. I did color match online, so I'm not expecting this to be a super perfect match. It's probably gonna be a little light because it's been a while since I color matched this, and I've been outside and I got tan. So this says Cover FX Power Play Foundation. Can we please focus? So that's what this says. And on the bottom, it just has a little sticker. And it says my shade, which is N20, is the shade that I picked. I'm getting my fingerprints all over this thing. So I'm going to uncap it, and I really hope, please let's say a little prayer, that this comes with some sort of like doe foot applicator or a little spatula, because my favorite foundation right now is the Estee Lauder foundation, and I really hate that it doesn't come with any sort of applicator, that I have to like tap it out of the bottle. I really don't like that, so I hope this comes with some sort of applicator. So, ooh, that's strange. Okay, so this is like a squirt bottle. I've never seen that in a high-end foundation. That is so strange. Okay, have you guys ever seen that? Like, I'm so like perplexed by this. Well, at least it does come with some sort of applicator, I guess you could say. It doesn't really smell like anything, which is good. For some reason, I expected this to open this up and it smelled like strong paint. And again, I don't know if I've said this yet, but before I even put this on my skin, I want to mention that I do not have any other makeup on besides my brows and my mascara done, so I can give you a true honest opinion of what this foundation is like. So here I have my damp beauty blender, and we're just gonna apply this onto our skin. I'm very excited to see. Again, I really hope it's full coverage. So we're gonna start right here on this side of my face, and because we're so up close and personal, I am going to be looking into my camera to guide me, because if I held a mirror, you guys wouldn't be able to see my face. So you guys can see this is where we're at. I'll probably only do half of my face. This half of my face is just more red than anything. I mean, like, I do have scarring, but you'll be able to compare, I guess, like the acne on this side of my face to the coverageness of the foundation on this side of my face. So here we go. I did shake it up, so I'm just gonna apply a medium amount. That is a medium amount in my world, onto my beauty blender, and here we go. Yeah, that's gonna be a little light. That's okay though. We can always darken it up later. Or you can just wear a turtleneck and in the middle of summer and call in the day with your pale face. That's what I would do. Actually, no, that's not. I would just use some bronzer. So here we are, putting it on my face, and I can already see this right here is literally the worst area for pores for me. Like, I have many pores that like to party right there. So here I have foundation applied to half of my face. This is one coat, and this is what we look like. So as you can see, it's medium coverage. I definitely still see the redness on this pimple and on this pimple, and I still see some of the dark spots right here. I really don't see my dark circles, although I really don't have a big problem with dark circles, as you guys can see. That's not a problem that I was blessed with, thankfully, but I still see some of my acne coming through. So I'm going to go in and we're going to apply a second coat and see how much more that gives us. So I'm really just going to focus this, like, I'm just going to apply this like I would my foundation normally. And I would normally just apply a second layer of foundation to my problem area. So that's this area right here on my cheek. And I'm just going to go and I'm going to tap this in, and then we'll see where we're at after the second coat. Okay, so here's half of my face done in the foundation. I got a little bit on my eyebrow, as you can see, but this is what the half of my face looks like with foundation on. And this is the side of my face without any foundation on. So before I get into talking about what my opinions are about this foundation, I would like to mention what CoverFX wrote on the box, so then I can like see what the claims are and see if I agree with the claims of this foundation. So CoverFX wrote, a long-wearing liquid foundation formulated with innovative, high-impact pigments that provide a buildable medium to full coverage and a breathable, weightless finish. A trio of ultra-fine powders control shine and help visibly blur imperfections all day without dulling or drying complexion. So that is what Cover FX has said about this foundation. What do I think about this foundation? First of all, before we even talk about anything, yes, I know the color match is really, really bad. I color matched it online. Okay, now that we've got that outside, here's what I think. I have to say, now that it's drying, it's not as full coverage as it was. It does have buildable coverage. The second layer of foundation that I put on was much more covering than the first layer that I put on. So I have to say I am disappointed. I could go in and apply a third layer of foundation to this problem area of mine, but I feel like after the second coat, like in a perfect world, I just want to have one coat and be done if you're going to be a full coverage foundation, but they aren't claiming just to be full coverage. They're claiming buildable medium to full coverage. So I still feel like I'm in the medium coverage area, especially with these two marks right here. I'm not absolutely in love with the coverage. If I had perfect skin, this would be full coverage, but as you can see, I have very red, like we know I have problem skin. And so I'm not super impressed with the areas that I have like actual acne. It's not really giving me the full coverageness that I would really look for. However, in the areas where I don't really have acne and I just have dark marks, it's more medium coverage. I mean, I'm still seeing a lot of, like, here's a freckle that I have that I put like a massive layer of foundation over. I feel like it's not really as full coverage as other full coverage foundations I've tried, such as the Kat Von D foundation. That sucker, full coverage. The Estee Lauder foundation definitely has more buildable full coverage, but that's another one that's definitely more full coverage. This is definitely more medium coverage. I would wear this on the days where I'm not really having problems with my acne. It did cover up the redness. I am very happy with the formula and how it feels on my skin. It's very lightweight, feeling like sitting here and having like feeling on both sides of my face. It doesn't really feel like I'm wearing anything, which I really, really like. So I would like this on the days when I'm not really looking to have caked on feeling makeup and I'm not having problems with like acne. But I have acne almost all of the time, so I would either have to put on a whole like gallon more, because even like, I know my acne is red and I didn't color correct, but even like my freckle is popping through, and I really wanted to see if it would cover my freckle and it didn't, so I'm not really in love with that. I also feel like this formula, it feels very, very dry on my skin. I'm not really loving that, especially if you're somebody who has problems with dry skin. And I definitely feel like the areas of my skin that feel much more dry or where I put in that second layer of foundation. What other claims did this make? I just want to go over everything. Visibly blur imperfections. We can cross that off the list. Is that not true? Because we can definitely still see this like triangle that I have going on here. But dulling and drying complexion, I still have a little bit of glow to my skin, which I'm not mad about. Like, I don't want to look greasy, but I do want to look like I have a little bit of glow. But it does feel very drying in the area that I applied the second layer of foundation on. Definitely feels very mattifying, but like almost too mattifying, where I feel dry and I feel cakey. I don't know if we're all getting that look. Like, I don't look cakey. I usually cake up around here. But we can definitely still see, like, I have this giant nose piercing scar, but we can, like, I have giant pores and we can still see them. So I don't know if I'm actually in love with the foundation itself, but we still have one more thing to add on top of the foundation before we give an overall review. And the next thing we're going to be putting on is the Cover FX Perfect Setting Powder. Clinically tested, paraben, fragrance, gluten, mineral oil, and talc free. Vegan. This truly skin flattering loose powder flawlessly sets makeup while refining and softening the appearance of skin for fresh airbrushed finish. Okay, so we're going to pull this out. And this is shade Translucent Light. So here is what the cover looks like. We got a little bit of glue on top from the inside of the box, presumably. So here's where we're at with that. And I'm going to take it off. And it just pops off just like that. How fancy. Okay, so I'm just gonna shake some powder out. This, I actually really like the build of this because of the little hinge, so I have that cap on forever. So I'm just gonna tap some powder out, out and breathe it in the powder. And I'm gonna pop this open and we're gonna try setting our face with this powder. So I have just finished setting this side of my face with the translucent powder, and I'm gonna grab the box so we can go through and check the claims. Okay, so first it claims to flawlessly set makeup while refining and softening the appearance of skin for fresh airbrushed look. I feel like you can see this a little bit less. But I mean, you can still definitely see it. You can still definitely see that the foundation isn't full coverage enough. I want to see what my face looks like with just the translucent powder, because I like to put on translucent powder throughout the day just to touch up my oiliness of my skin. So I want to see if this has really any color to it. You'll be able to see because my skin won't be red, and if it takes away some of the shininess of my skin. Yeah, so you can definitely see that my skin is not as red as it was, so that tells me that it does, like, I don't know if you guys could see, but it took away the redness from my skin, so there is a little bit of color to the translucent powder. My skin isn't as shiny as it was, but I mean, any powder will do that. I do feel like it did give me a blurring effect. I feel like the scarring that I have right here isn't as visibly, like, you can't really see it as much as you could before. Like, it did provide me a little bit of blurring effect. That's kind of what I feel like is going on over here. However, now that I have this foundation on my skin, it, like, with a powder foundation and the liquid foundation, it feels heavy. Like, I don't know how to describe this very well. It's not, okay. It feels lightweight. Like, it doesn't feel like I'm full caked on. However, it does feel like powdery. I feel cakey. I feel like I have a lot of makeup on, and I really don't feel like I have a very full coverage foundation on. This is a translucent powder, and it did lighten up my skin a little bit more, which I wasn't super happy with. However, I really like the hinge thing. I think that's so convenient to have. I'm very happy about that. I do really like how both of these are scent free. I'm somebody who is really sensitive when it comes to the intensity of fragrances, and I find that some makeup products I can't use because the smell that they put off is so strong and it makes me gag. So I really like how both of these don't have a fragrance to them. However, I don't know, I do like this. This is not bad. Like, I really like how it took away the redness of my skin, and I really like how it did blur my imperfections. I liked how easily the foundation blended out. I didn't have to put a whole lot of work in. I'm so sorry. The powder made my nose really itchy because it just kept going up into my nose. I really did like how blendable this was. I liked how easy it was to move around my skin. It wasn't super damp feeling, and it did dry down rather quickly. This would be great if you were somebody who's looking to cover up more redness and scarring rather than acne, but or if you're somebody who doesn't really have a lot of raised acne, but is somebody who has like cystic acne, this isn't giving me the full coverage that I'm really looking for. Besides that, I also didn't really like how drying it feels on my skin. So if you have like super duper oily skin and you never have to worry about having dry skin, I would maybe recommend this to you. Like, this feels very mattifying. So I would recommend, I just dropped it. I would recommend it to you if you have really oily skin, if you are looking for a foundation that has buildable coverage, if you are somebody who has acne that isn't raised or don't have cystic acne, and I don't know if I said this, but I would also recommend this to you if you are looking for a full coverage a medium to full coverage foundation and you have a lot of scarring or redness to hide. I would recommend the powder foundation if you are super worried about oily skin, because I feel like the two of these together, I would not have to worry about it. Let me know if you want to see me do a 24-hour, not a 24-hour, but like an 8-hour review, like a full day, like me wearing this all day. If you want to see me wearing these two all day together, I would love to know from you guys in the comment section down below. But I do feel like this would be something that I would want to wear if I had really, really oily skin. However, I don't like how like cakey and heavy and dense it feels where I really focused the second layer, and that was the addressing the liquid foundation. I really like the translucent powder. I like how it blurred my imperfections. Like, I don't know if you guys want to see, we have one more area that we have yet to cover, so I really like that, and I really liked, like, look, I'm very impressed with how blurred and not red everything looks. I really, really like that about that. That has me really, really excited. It doesn't really feel like I have too much on my skin, like when I, like my face feeling itself, but if I touch my skin, I definitely feel like it's very silky feeling, the powder itself. I am actually, for some reason, way more impressed with the powder than I am the foundation, because it's also not settling into my pores and my fine lines, which I really, really like, and I haven't really found that yet in a powder. So I would rate this powder itself a 6 out of 10. I probably am going to take off a point or two because of pricing, and I feel like it's just a translucent powder and it's not truly translucent. It did lighten up my skin tone. You know what, I'm going to give the powder a 7.5, and I'm going to give the foundation a 5.5 because I'm not very impressed with the coverage of it. Again, I'm disappointed in a high-end foundation that can't even cover like my freckles and dark marks. That's a bit disappointing to me. What did you guys think about this foundation? I would love to hear what your thoughts are in the comment section down below. I love you all so much, and I will see you in my next video.